continuous improvement through reflection and feedback. As another instructor development workshop came to an end, Sarah watched her students gather their materials and head toward the parking lot. Several stopped to thank her. One asked about teaching opportunities, and another said the class had inspired him to become an instructor. For a moment, Sarah felt a sense of accomplishment. Then she walked back into the now empty classroom. The room was quiet. She looked at the whiteboard, closed her laptop, and instead of immediately packing her things, she pulled out a notebook. At the top of the page, she wrote one simple question: what could I have taught better today? David happened to walk by the doorway. He smiled when he saw what she was writing. I was wondering when you'd start doing that. Sarah laughed. Doing what? Becoming your own coach. That simple habit became one of the most valuable parts of Sarah's teaching routine. She realized that every class, no matter how successful, presented an opportunity to improve. Great instructors don't assume they have mastered teaching. They remain students themselves. Throughout this course, we've discussed learning objectives, presentation skills, classroom management, technology, storytelling, and student engagement. Those skills are never fully perfected. They continue to evolve throughout an instructor's career. Educational research changes, technology advances, Arizona real estate laws are updated, and every new group of students brings different experiences and perspectives into the classroom. The instructors who remain effective for decades are the ones who continue learning long after they receive instructor approval. David often reminded Sarah that feedback is one of the greatest gifts an instructor can receive. It's easy to hear compliments, he said. The challenge is learning from the suggestions. At first, Sarah found student evaluations a little intimidating. She appreciated the positive comments, but one suggestion always seemed to stand out more than 20 compliments. I wish we had spent more time discussing contracts. I would have liked additional case studies. The pace felt a little fast after lunch. Initially, those comments felt personal. Over time, she realized they were professional. Students weren't criticizing her. They were helping her become a better instructor. Instead of filing evaluations away after each course, Sarah began looking for patterns. If one student suggested slowing down during a particular lesson, it might simply reflect an individual preference. If several students mentioned the same topic over multiple classes, she recognized an opportunity to improve the course. Small adjustments made over time produced significant improvements in student engagement and understanding. David also encouraged Sarah to observe other instructors whenever possible. You'll never outgrow learning from someone else, he said. Sometimes she attended another instructor's class simply to watch how they managed discussions. Other times, she focused on presentation techniques, storytelling, classroom movement, or how they explained difficult legal concepts. Every instructor had strengths worth learning from. Likewise, Sarah welcomed experienced instructors into her own classroom. Peer observation initially felt uncomfortable. No instructor enjoys knowing another educator is evaluating their teaching. But afterward, those conversations often became some of the most valuable professional development she experienced. Another instructor might notice a missed opportunity to encourage discussion, suggest a different way to explain a legal concept, or offer an idea that improved an entire lesson. Sarah also recognized that improving as an instructor required staying current beyond the classroom. She regularly attended educational conferences, participated in professional organizations, reviewed updates affecting Arizona real estate education, explored new instructional strategies, and continued refining her course materials. The best instructors don't wait until renewal time to invest in professional development. Learning becomes part of who they are. One afternoon, David asked Sarah a question. Where do you want to be as an instructor 5 years from now? She started talking about new courses she wanted to develop. He smiled. I wasn't asking what you want to teach. I was asking who you want to become. That question stayed with Sarah. She realized every instructor should have a professional development plan, just as many agents have a business plan. Maybe the goal is improving classroom discussions. Maybe it's becoming more comfortable with technology, strengthening storytelling skills, attending educational conferences, earning additional teaching credentials, or mentoring future instructors. Whatever the objective, intentional growth rarely happens by accident. By the end of the year, Sarah looked back at the notebook she had started after that class months earlier. Every page contained observations, lessons that worked, lessons that needed improvement, ideas for future classes, student comments, new teaching techniques. It wasn't simply a notebook. It was the story of her growth as an educator. As they left the school together one evening, Sarah thanked David for everything he had taught her. He smiled. I only helped you ask better questions. She looked puzzled. What questions? The ones you ask yourself after every class. That may be the greatest difference between a good instructor and an exceptional one. Good instructors finish teaching when class ends. Exceptional instructors begin improving when class ends. Continuous reflection, honest feedback, ongoing education, and a commitment to lifelong learning ensure that every course becomes a little stronger than the one before it. The journey of becoming an outstanding instructor never truly ends, and that's exactly what makes teaching one of the most rewarding professions in real estate. Instructor tip: keep a teaching journal after every class. Write down what worked well, what could be improved, questions students asked, and ideas for future lessons. Over time, those notes become one of your most valuable professional development resources. Online discussion question 1. Why is self-reflection important for professional instructors? Answer: self-reflection helps instructors identify strengths, recognize opportunities for improvement, and continually refine their teaching methods. Regular evaluation encourages growth and helps ensure that every class becomes more effective than the last. Question 2. How can student evaluations improve instructional effectiveness? Answer: student evaluations provide valuable insight into how learners experience the course. Looking for recurring themes rather than focusing on isolated comments helps instructors make meaningful improvements that enhance student engagement and learning. Question 3. Why should instructors create a professional development plan? Answer: a professional development plan encourages intentional growth by identifying specific goals, educational opportunities, and teaching skills to improve over time. It helps instructors remain current, effective, and committed to lifelong learning.